Hi guys, and welcome back to Leslie Through the Looking Glass. I'm Leslie. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us and sharing in my journey. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your support. I literally can't thank you enough and appreciate you so much. I'm trying to sneak in this video during nap time, so I'm gonna make it pretty quick, but I do want to touch on a few things and share a few things with you guys this week. This is going to be mostly about mental health and anxiety related things, while touching on just one kind of skill or coping mechanism that has helped me, but how important it is to figure out what works for you. So first of all, I just want to point out that this past Saturday, October 10th, was the World Mental Health Day, bringing just more light to the struggles of mental health and the people going through it. And I just want to say that, you guys, if you're ever struggling, if you need to reach out, please do. You can go over and follow me on Instagram. It's Leslie Through the Looking Glass with underscore between each word. But it's the same as my YouTube handle otherwise. Or if we're friends on Facebook or whatever, or comment down below. If you guys need something or need to ask a question or need to be heard because you just need to get something off your chest, please feel free to reach out. And I can promise you that even if you're nervous to reach out to somebody in your life, whether it be a friend, a family member, spouse, just do it. I wish I had done it sooner. And I know it's scary and overwhelming, and it took a lot. It took me going through, like I said, physical health things that I was scared about, to get myself the help I needed. And if I can pass anything along, it's just reach out sooner than later and get yourself some help or support, however you need it, so that you can start to move forward and work on controlling it, because it is a lot. So that being said, I'll just kind of cover a couple things from my last week, a couple wins, and then talk about a coping mechanism for me that's been helpful, and call it a day. So last week we were on vacation. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I need a vacation from my vacation. It was super nice, super fun, and we did a lot, but it emotionally took a lot on me because we kind of did a spur of the minute day trip. And for those of you with anxiety like me who need to have a plan and be prepared for all the scenarios, that it was a really good time. I'm glad we did it. It pushed me outside my comfort zone, which helped me see that I can kind of cope with things on the fly better than I thought at this point. But it did lead to a lot of anxiety in the process. But we had a really nice day. And then my husband and I spent our first night away from our child, and spent some time together. And, you know, it was really nice. For the most part, I was able to enjoy myself, which I wasn't sure if I would be able to relax enough throughout the night to actually enjoy any of it. But other than when we first left the house, I did cry and have like a little bit of a meltdown. And then I didn't sleep well. I kept checking my phone and out of habit turning to check a monitor, which I did not have. So I didn't sleep great. But other than that, we did take the time to unwind. We shared a nice meal. I gambled a little bit. We watched the Bears game. So all in all, a lot of positives came from last week for me, in my journey of like learning to deal with situations that are outside of my comfort zone. I wouldn't say that I am all the way there on enjoying that or wanting to do that all the time, but I do think you guys, every once in a while, forcing yourself to do something that you're not quite 100% on board with is a good way to let yourself see that the situations aren't always going to end poorly. So I'm not saying if you're not ready, of course don't do it. But if you start it, if you're like me and you really have developed a lot of tools, you know, I think that is something that's helpful, is to take advantage of some opportunities and, you know, just see kind of how that works for you. That all being said, the one thing I wanted to touch on today as a tool that might help some people, that was a struggle for me initially, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, is breathing. It sounds so simple, and they make it seem that way. And you guys, I struggled with the breathing so much. My therapist suggested it for me as a way of practicing like before bed when you're relaxing, to do this breathing technique where you breathe in. I believe it's for 8 count, then hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for an 8 count. And then once you do that enough when you're in a relaxed state, the goal is that when you're in a high stress situation or your anxiety is flaring or whatever the case may be, you can do the same breathing and it will help you go back to more of that relaxation so that you can calm yourself down. So, and this was in one, I think the first or second counseling session I had with my therapist that she suggested this for me. And I was like, okay, great. So that first night, I was like gung-ho, I'm going to do this because that sounds like something really easy to incorporate. It's not super overwhelming to me. And you guys, let me tell you, I got anxiety over breathing. I struggled so bad, like breathing in and then like holding it. I felt like I was suffocating, and then my exhales did not last long enough. And like, then I was so anxious about it all that it was just a hot mess. And I will tell you that my friend Kristen, who she actually is, runs one of the Disney subscription box companies that I follow. If you're part of my Disney crowd, Main Street Treat Company, check them out. They do snack boxes and merch things straight from the parks, and they're amazing. But she has been very open and had started a lifestyle page that I followed on Facebook, and she has posted about her struggles with anxiety often. And we were messaging one day on Facebook and messaged me about an app for breathing that she used that was really helpful for her. And the app is literally called Breathe. And it's the same breathing technique that I was telling you was suggested to me, but it gives you like the up and down. So you'll see when you're supposed to be breathing in for 8, it'll literally go up and then go across for 4 and then down. Super simple, right? Super ridiculous that somebody might need that to help them. But that is what I needed, because then I wasn't focusing on counting. I wasn't like thinking about anything else. I was just zoned into the app and watching my screen to help like control and get in a rhythm. And then I honestly would start in my counting after that so that I could start doing it. And it got to the point where I could do it on my own. And then after I was comfortable doing the counting, I did start doing it like if I was relaxing in the bathtub or laying down for bed and relaxing. And so now when I do get in anxious situations, I'm able to do that breathing. And I would say usually within 3 to 5 breaths, I'm really able to like control that feeling of panic and get myself into a place where I can get back to thinking about a solution to my anxiety versus getting caught up in the wave. So Kristen, thank you so much for that if you happen to be watching, and thank you for your support, because you have been super supportive and awesome along my journey, and I appreciate that so much. And like I said, if you're one of my Disney people at all and you are craving some Disney sweets, check out Main Street Treat Co. It's her and her husband, and I think they now have a couple people and they're wonderful. But you guys, I highly suggest that if the breathing thing sounds silly to you or you can't like make that work in your head, try the app, because that made a huge difference for me. And I feel so silly that like that was not something. Sorry, you guys, it's raining and my dogs are inside while I'm filming and they're both getting up and moving around a lot. It feels so silly to need an app to do breathing, but it is what I needed. And at that point I was willing to try anything to get a grip. And now it is such a huge part of my anxiety control, and it's so helpful to me. So I highly recommend that if it's a tool that you haven't found. I use that in conjunction with my therapist also gave me a tool about like mental imagery. And for me, it's like a big stop sign. I envision either a hand up or a big stop sign telling me to stop. When I start to get overwhelmed, I make myself see the stop sign, I do my breathing, and then I'm able to go on. And honestly, most people don't even know I'm doing it. I was super anxious when we were out hiking and doing stuff a couple times. And my husband, after the fact, when we were talking about my anxiety, said he didn't even realize I was having anxiety and thought I was fine all day because I was able to, keep myself in balance. So while I had the anxiety, it wasn't taking control of the situation. So I highly recommend that. as something to try if you're still learning and struggling with it. And if the breathing itself is a challenge for you, don't be, weirded out by that. I really struggled with it, and it makes me laugh now because how silly is it? Like, we breathe every day, all day. That should not be a challenge, but it really, like, it gave me anxiety trying to calm my anxiety with breathing. So don't give up if something doesn't work for you initially, is my other piece of advice with this. Like, I wanted to give up on the breathing thing and did for a little bit, thinking, okay, that's just not a tool that works for me. But getting a handle on all of this is work. And so I put in the work, and that is now something that really does help me a lot. And I would say I use it at least once a day. So it really is, and it's something easy. It's something you can do without drawing attention to yourself. If you have like social anxiety, if something you can do on your own easily. So I do highly recommend it, guys. And I think the key to it also is do the breathing when you're relaxed, so it triggers that sense of relaxation when you are breathing. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on this week, guys. The only other thing is I just had been seeing this quote a bunch lately on all my Disney pages. And for those of you who are not Disney, I chose Leslie Through the Looking Glass because it was a nod to my love of Disney, and I knew I was going to incorporate Disney on my channel. And because it is Alice in Wonderland themed, and Through the Looking Glass because I'm giving you guys a glimpse into my life, like you're looking at me through the looking glass, kind of. And that's where I came up with that name. And I've always loved Alice in Wonderland. It's a super strange movie, I feel like, to love. But it's always been one that's just resonated with me when I was little. I don't know if it's just all the colors and the prettiness, but now as an adult, I think it speaks to me on so many levels too. And one of the things that I'd seen a bunch lately, and I have no idea why, but is when Mad Hatter asks if he's gone mad, and Alice says, I wrote it down so I wouldn't misquote, but I'm afraid so, you're entirely bonkers. But I'll tell you a secret, all the best people are. And I've just seen that a lot, guys, and I think that it just resonates with me because we all have our stuff. Everybody has a little bit of whatever going on in their life. Whether they're honest about it, whether they share it, whatever, whatever the case may be. We all have stuff. So I think what works best for me is owning it now. And it took me a while to get to this place in my life where I'm comfortable being who I am in my skin and being honest about it, and sharing it. And so it's okay to be bonkers. It's okay to not be okay. And I just want to let you guys know that there's a lot out there, and don't let this life get you down. So I hope everybody is well. I hope if you need to reach out, you do. Is there any techniques, breathing techniques that are different that you use? If so, drop them below in the comments. Also, if you have any quotes or any like mantras that help you, go ahead and leave those below too and share those, because you never know. All right, guys, this video is getting a little long. It's about end of nap time for my daughter, so I'm going to get out of here. My next video coming up is probably going to be a little bit of Disney for the weekend. I think I'm going to go over some of my pin collection and share a few things from there and just do a short video with that. Next week, I think mental health-wise, I'm going to do a video. Sorry, I'm checking my notes to see kind of what I had jotted down. Either a couple things that I do for self-care and elaborate a little bit on those, or just kind of a video about like some of the revelations I've made recently as far as like being honest and knowing what you can handle and how that works for me. So if you have anything question-wise that you want me to discuss, also feel free to leave that below. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're not already, please hit subscribe down below. If you hit the bells, you'll get alerted next time I post new content. And as always, guys, hit the big thumbs up. I love to know that you guys made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.